Imagine a world without money, no coins, no bills, no credit cards. You want wheat, but all you have is a goat. How do you survive? How do civilizations grow, trade, and prosper in such a world? This is the story of the barter system, the invisible force that built the first cities, empires, and human societies. Today, we uncover how humans first exchanged value, and how these simple trades shaped the course of history. Welcome to History of Wealth, where we explore the incredible stories behind money, trade, and human civilization. If you love discovering how everyday things we take for granted today came to be, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of barter, a time when survival depended on the skill of exchanging, negotiating, and valuing what you had. Long before the invention of coins or paper money, humans survived in small communities. Survival wasn't just about hunting or farming. It was about sharing, exchanging, and trading. A farmer with extra grain needed tools. A hunter with surplus meat needed clothing. They had no common currency, no standard method of exchange. Only negotiation, trust, and understanding the value of goods. Imagine this. You're a villager with 5 goats, but your family needs wheat to survive the winter. Across the village, a farmer has plenty of wheat, but no goats. You agree to trade 1 goat for a sack of wheat. Simple, right? But as villages grew and trade expanded across regions, barter became more complex, requiring rules, fairness, and trust. And that's how the first economies began. Barter wasn't just about survival. It was about forming relationships. Trading goods meant building trust, alliances, and sometimes even marriages. Civilizations weren't just growing, they were connecting through exchange. Every trade created bonds, every market created a network, and every barter laid the groundwork for the complex economies we see today. One of the earliest civilizations to thrive through barter was Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. Farmers exchanged grain for tools, pottery, and textiles. Markets emerged along rivers, which became the lifelines of trade. People who mastered the art of exchange gained power, influence, and wealth. In Egypt, barter enabled the construction of the pyramids. Workers didn't receive coins. They were paid in goods, food, and essentials. Grain, beer, and textiles became currency of daily life. Trade wasn't just economic, it was social, political, and cultural. Barter systems dictated the flow of resources and determined who thrived and who struggled. The Indus Valley civilization also relied heavily on barter. Archaeologists have discovered weights, scales, and standardized measures, showing how important fair trade was. These tools allowed traders to exchange goods like cotton, beads, and metals across vast distances. Every exchange required trust, negotiation, and a shared understanding of value, the earliest form of economic intelligence. Let's look at some real-life examples. In ancient China, silk wasn't just a luxury, it was a medium of exchange. Traders along the Silk Road didn't just barter silk for gold, they traded it for spices, horses, and ideas. One city's surplus became another city's essential goods, creating a web of interdependence that connected continents long before modern currency existed. In Africa, salt was considered more valuable than gold in some regions. Caravans transported salt across deserts, trading it for food, ivory, and other goods. The value of salt wasn't arbitrary. It preserved life, nourished communities, and became a symbol of wealth. Through barter, these societies flourished and built civilizations that lasted centuries. Even in Europe, before coins became widespread, people relied on livestock, grain, and tools for trade. Monks in monasteries used barley, wine, and cloth to pay for construction and supplies. Every transaction carried human stories, negotiations, and lessons that shaped future economies. Barter had its limits. Imagine needing a tool, but the person you're trading with doesn't want what you have, or trying to trade across villages hundreds of miles apart. Barter required double coincidence of wants. Both parties had to want exactly what the other offered. This limitation pushed humans to innovate. To overcome these challenges, early societies experimented with standardized items, shells, salt, and eventually metal coins. These were trusted items with widely recognized value, bridging the gaps where barter fell short. But it all started with humans learning to trust, negotiate, and value each other's contributions. Barter teaches us something profound. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about trust, relationships, and creating value. Long before banks or coins, civilizations thrived because people exchanged what they had for what they needed, fairly and intelligently. Even today, the principles of barter exist. Modern trade, bartering platforms, and online exchanges are echoes of this ancient system. Every time you negotiate, swap, or trade, you are part of a story that began thousands of years ago. So, next time you trade, buy, or sell, remember this: your actions are part of a legacy that stretches back to the first farmers, traders, and merchants who dared to exchange. They built civilizations, connected continents, and shaped the economy we live in today. If you enjoyed this journey through the origins of trade, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support helps History of Wealth grow, so we can continue uncovering the incredible stories behind money, trade, and human civilization. Share this video with someone who loves history. Let's keep the story alive.